Hey, Pete.
MJ? What are you doing here?
Same as you. Working. At least, I was.
Oh, I think this is yours.
Yeah, thanks.
So, Robbie's got you covering a break-in for the Bugle?
Well, Robbie doesn't technically know I'm here. And it wasn't a break-in until a few minutes ago.
Uh-huh?
Let me explain.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Phoenix here, and welcome back to a brand new Marvel Spider-Man 2 informational video. And in today's video, you guys wouldn't believe me if I told you, but there's one character that is missing from Marvel Spider-Man 2's gameplay reveal trailer, and it's no other than the one and only beautiful, gorgeous redhead herself, our girl, Mary Jane Watson. And other than that, Game Rant covered it, so we're going to be going ahead and covering it today. But it says right here in this article by Game Rant, and it says, Marvel Spider-Man's Mary Jane is paramount to the narrative, and her rekindled relationship with Peter Parker obviously needs to be a thread that Insomniac follows up on in the sequel. Therefore, it is easy enough to assume that Mary Jane is around someplace during the events that take place in the PlayStation Showcase's gameplay reveal for Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, obviously, with that, you guys already know that MJ is a crucial part in the Black Suit storyline as well, because she's the one that starts noticing that Peter's starting to change, Peter's starting to act funny along with that as well, because we've seen it in every single movie and every single film. So honestly, seeing that she's missing from the gameplay is honestly a little bit surprising, in my opinion. But following that, it says, she is not heard from or talked about, though. This wouldn't otherwise be alarming, but MJ was fairly prominent on Peter's comms after they partnered up together in Marvel Spider-Man. And she has become an even more significant part of his life since the events of the original game. Which, as you guys know, she became a very, very huge part of Peter's life after they rekindled their relationship. And on top of that, not to mention, seeing as that she's been involved with everything that Peter has done so far, it seems like there's something off there with her not being in the gameplay. But following that, it says, if Mary Jane is still working as an investigative reporter for the Daily Bugle and shares leads with Peter, it would seem odd that she is not looped in on Peter and Miles' comms. Furthermore, Genki is present and even remotely keeping up with Miles through a hijacked Hunter drone in Marvel Spider-Man 2, making MJ's absence felt that much more. Peter will inevitably need to talk to Mary Jane about the situation that unfolds, and his symbiote-induced rage will likely affect their relationship. But maybe it already has at this point in the narrative, and that is why she is not available on comms. If they have already experienced conflict and Peter pushed her away, that would be the perfect fuel for him to be even angrier and even more hellbent on pursuing Kraven and the Lizard in Marvel Spider-Man 2. Now, as you guys both know, I actually do agree with this because, as you can tell in that trailer, it has been 6 months. So my guess is for the fact that Peter has had the symbiote on for a good 6 months at this point, and MJ has already experienced that conflict, which leads Peter to go down even more of a darker path with the symbiote being connected to him, which I actually do agree with. But following that, it also says it might be Miles's onus to reach out to Mary Jane and try to understand why Peter's behavior has changed so drastically, and together they could find a way to snap him separate from the symbiote, because she hasn't been shown or acknowledged. There is no telling what the situation looks like or if she is even conscious of his behavioral changes. Now, the chances are is for the fact that she's not really known about it, but seeing as that, like I said, it has been 6 months since Peter has had the symbiote. So my guess for a fact, like I said, they have had to have a conflict within those 6 months that made MJ cut away from the comms. So my guess is for the fact that either that has happened and Miles has to reach out to MJ to get her to talk to Peter, which, as you guys know, they're going to have to figure out a way to break Peter away from that. But following that, it says, details fans do know at this point are that Peter and MJ have a healthy, transparent relationship and have recently enjoyed a trip to Simcaria together for her work. Peter recently also moved into his late Aunt May's house in Queens, which interestingly might have landed him squarely in the neighborhood of Connors. But as for what Mary Jane's life looks like, it is anyone's estimate. Now, we already know for a fact, like, with that whole entire thing going on with MJ, she probably isn't there anymore because of the fact, like, she's working, and on top of that, with Miles and Peter being Spider-Man and stuff like that, they probably aren't able to talk as much. Now, this leads me into the next thing that I'm going to say. Obviously, with Peter and MJ getting back to Symkaria and with Peter moving in, now, I'm not trying to say this relies on the comic, but in the comic that recently came out, MJ did move into Peter's house with him. So I feel like that is a sign that at some point in the game, Peter starts to act wrong and Peter starts to be more angry and angrier towards her. And that automatically just makes MJ move out and Peter cuts comms with her, is what I'm guessing from this. But of course not. But seeing as that Kraven is going after, people and pretty much any heroes that are involved, like, there is a list, which leads me on to this next point, that Kraven's datapad revealed a lot of characters that fans can expect to encounter in Marvel Spider-Man 2, whether they are friend or foe. It is telling that Kraven seemingly considers Dr. Connors, the Lizard, to be a character that could be his equal in battle, but based on the enormous mutation form that Connors takes, that might not be true. In this way, Marvel Spider-Man 2 confirmed a bunch of characters for the sequel, and it will be interesting to see how the franchise depicts everybody else, seeing as that Kraven doesn't consider MJ a threat. So honestly, with that pretty much just ends that off. But let me know what you guys think. Where do you guys think that MJ is? Do you guys think that she's still in Symkaria? Because by the looks of it and by the looks of everything that we got in Miles Morales, Peter and MJ are back from Symkaria. So what do you think, what happened between Peter and MJ? Do you think they got into a conflict and Peter cut her off comms? Or do you think that Peter kicked her out and started being rude to MJ and started being angrier and angrier to the point where he wanted to hunt Kraven and the Lizard? So without a doubt, if you guys haven't, let me know down in the comment section below. It's been your boy Phoenix, and I'll see you guys later in a spectacular Spidey Webtastic Banger.